Congratulations. Work so hard, forgot how to vacation.
Hey YouTube, it's your boy ZBK, Zachary Brown Coleman.
And I'm Exxon.
Welcome to another video of ZB Kicks in Sports. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the top 10 2K ratings that were released this past week. The top 10 players in the new NBA 2K18. We're going to be doing this from 10 to 1. From bottom to the top of the top 10.
So starting off, we have Giannis at the 91 overall.
Giannis Antetokounmpo is not called the Greek Freak without reason. He is extremely athletic. He has an amazing highlight plays that Ronnie 2K and 2K development staff recognize. He has amazing flashy plays. He has great handles. He's even the point guard a lot of times on the team, bringing the ball up. So he's an amazing, tremendous talent. So now coming at number 9 is Paul George, who's tied with Giannis with 91 overall. He's now been traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder for Victor Oladipo and Domantas Sabonis. A huge trade in the Thunder's favor. He'll now be playing alongside Russell Westbrook. They have a really dynamic duo in the Thunder who should be dangerous in the Western Conference. He should have a lesser scoring average this year, considering he's not the bona fide superstar of the Thunder. So we expect his overall to dip somewhat by the end of the season.
I don't think that he deserves to be there. Paul George being not the star anymore. Westbrook being there and Westbrook scoring all the points now, even being the reigning MVP coming into this league, he's also going to try to win it again, averaging a triple-double. So I think the Thunder are not going to look to pass the ball too much to Paul George, but of course they're going to use him at clutch points and even to add to the team, but I don't think that he's going to be where he is at right now.
And also it's going to take some time for them to mesh together, as there always is when superstars come and play together, like the Miami Heat, like the Cavs, with the superstar tandems. It always takes some time for them to mesh and get used to playing with one another. Westbrook the past year with Kevin Durant going to the Warriors had the whole team for his own and was able to dominate, do whatever he wanted. Now with Paul George there, he's going to have to watch himself and not make sure he's too much of a ball hog. He has someone to check him in this place if he's going crazy. So now coming in at number 8, one overall higher, is DeMarcus Cousins of the New Orleans Pelicans. So he's going to be playing alongside Anthony Davis, who even has a higher 2K rating. And the two of them should be able to form sort of like a twin tower, big men in the post. They should be dominating a full season together. They, at the end of this last season, to mesh together and get used to playing with one another. They signed Drew Holiday to a huge max contract extension. So him leading the point and them two playing down low should be great playing together. Although Cousins overall should dip somewhat, right? Playing alongside.
I do think so, that he's not going to be a 92. I think by the end of this year that he's going to be in 2K19 at 90 overall. Yes. I don't think he's going to be over a 90 overall with Anthony Davis beside him.
Yeah, because even if you look at his second half stats from this past season with the Pelicans with Davis, he wasn't scoring as much as he did with the Kings because he had to watch himself, like George is going to have to do, taking less field goal attempts and getting those less shot opportunities for his scoring average.
Don't get us wrong, they do have a great chemistry together. Watching that huge play that they had together where Cousins threw that alley-oop from the three-point line and Davis coming in, doing a 360 and slamming it down. I do think that their chemistry is there, but Davis being there is what's going to affect him from being in this top 10 list.
And that's why at number 7 comes in the unibrow, Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is only 24 years old, even though he's been in the league for a few years now, already a multi-time All-Star. So he's definitely going to be the superstar of the team, even though Cousins is there. He's definitely the star. His athleticism, his handles. The fact that people don't know is he had a huge growth spurt in high school. He was actually a high school point guard before he had that growth spurt. So that's why he's great handles and is able to do so many multi-dimensional things on the court. And he's only 24, so his upside is still growing, which is why his overall should continue to increase. Unlike a guy like Cousins, who's 27, and he's sort of made downwards if he's going to be playing with Davis.
So yeah, talking about Davis, I mean, he's great. He's honestly, for being in the New Orleans Pelicans ever since his rookie year, right?
Yeah.
Ever since his rookie year, doing what he has been doing, even coming into the league, destroying his first year. So honestly, Anthony Davis had 94 overall, and at his age, so young, 24 years old, he has the room to make even more improvements, work on his shot a little bit, and I do think that he will be one of the best players in the league.
Now coming in at number 6, Mr. Triple-Double himself, Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook at 28 years old has had a tremendous career so far with the triple-double. Many people are probably surprised by the fact he's only 6th in these 2K ratings, considering the fact he averaged a whole triple-double. but it's possible they already took into account the fact he's going to be playing alongside George, so it's unlikely that his numbers are going to be as high as they were this past season. So he's still going to have great numbers. He's still an amazing overall player, able to pass the ball with crazy passes, crazy point outbursts. He scored 50 points a game and make it look like nothing. Crazy athletic dunks. So Westbrook should have another great season alongside George, just not as high overall.
I also agree with him with the fact that Westbrook doesn't deserve to be the number 6. I believe that he's at least top 5. Westbrook being who he was last year, the MVP, the triple-double beast, everything about him was just amazing. Honestly, Westbrook is amazing, and being alongside Paul George is going to affect him some way. That's why I think that where they put him was reasonable, but I disagree with the fact that where he is kind of wrong.
Because if he produces like he did with Kevin Durant when they were on the team, and they're able to make noise in the Western Conference Finals, he should rise in the rankings next year overall and his placement in the league. If he is able to show that he's still an MVP candidate with another superstar around him, it will show big strides. Now coming in at number 5 is two-time MVP Stephen Curry. So Steph is, of course, as everyone knows, is an amazing shooter, amazing sniper. Although this past season he wasn't able to put up the scoring average he did the past 2 seasons due to Kevin Durant joining the team, he's still an amazing player and component of the core 4 alongside KD, Thompson, and Green. The Warriors are, of course, a huge favorite in the West to win the finals again, so he should have a steady 94 overall rating. It shouldn't diminish that much unless his shot really diminishes this next season and he loses his shot somewhat due to his age of being 29. If his shot ends up getting a little less smooth as it has been.
I do think that Curry still deserves to be the number 5 this year and even next year. The fact that he is who he is. For the threes, he's changed the game, as how people have said. He has changed the game with the threes instead of the driving and the post-ups and the faders and the mid-rangers. His range, honestly, is crazy, and him being a 94 overall, being the number 5, I do agree with NBA 2K18, and I do think that he will be the number 5 best player.
Curry is an NBA-changing player. The fact he changed how the NBA teams game plan and play their offense. The fact in today's NBA so much shooting and three-point shooting really has changed in the past 10 years due to his presence in the NBA. Much like players like Will Chamberlain, who was the first dominant player in the post, and then like Dr. J with his amazing dunks, also added a lot of flair and dunks to the game. Curry has done that with his three-point shot. So now coming at number 4 is James Harden. It's amazing that he was able to be in conversation for MVP, and many people think he should have won it, despite the fact Westbrook averaged a triple-double. And 90% of the seasons, Harden would have won the MVP with the season he had this past season. A player like him, who already was a superstar at the shooting guard position, was able to move over to the point guard position when the Rockets needed him to, change his entire style of his game to becoming more of a point guard, great passes, dishing out to the rest of his teammates. So he's an amazing player who's now going to be shifting back to the shooting guard position with the acquisition of Chris Paul. And between him and Chris Paul, they should have an amazing guard duo and should as well be dangerous in the West.
Also, talking about James Harden, the fact that Chris Paul is joining him in this team, I don't think that Chris Paul is going to be a big effect, only with the assist, kind of like James Harden is known for his assists, but Chris Paul being there, I don't think James Harden is going to have a high assist rate.
Coming in at number 3 is Kawhi Leonard at 95 overall. Kawhi Leonard, who's only 26 years old, is a great two-way player, has great defensive talent, one of the best defensive players in the league, amazing blocks, great steals, all-around great defender that everyone has trouble scoring against. And as well, offensively, he's made huge strides in his game since he's been in the league. He is an overall great passer, shooter, driver. So Kawhi Leonard is overall a great player for the Spurs. He fits that system perfectly under Popovich, and he's the perfect player for that team.
I do think where Kawhi Leonard is right now is kind of a stretch. Honestly, Kawhi Leonard is a great player. He deserves a 95 overall, but it's because the fact that he has an amazing defensive skill and also an offensive skill, being the star player in the Spurs and also having all those old people around him. It's not like he's like the most athletic person on the team, so going to Kawhi all the time is kind of what the Spurs kind of idea is. And Kawhi Leonard, where he is right now, is kind of a stretch being the third best player. But I do think...
I agree with Exxon. I don't think he's the third best player in 2K. He should definitely be behind Harden, Curry, and Westbrook. He's very good for that system of the Spurs, but he doesn't really have the overall appeal that the other players have. He's a very quiet guy. He out there in San Antonio, right by the Mexican border. He doesn't have any social media, and just I feel like he doesn't deserve to be the number 3 player. The other guys are MVP candidates. 2 of them are MVPs, Westbrook and Curry. So I think he deserves to be at 6, not number 3. Coming in at number 2 is Kevin Durant, the man whose shirt I'm wearing. Kevin Durant proved to be the perfect player on the Warriors to complement Curry and the rest of the core 4, Draymond and Thompson. He proved that his game was a perfect complement to theirs. Him bringing the ball up at times, being a great 3-point shooter, getting the ball distributed to him. He proved that he doesn't need to shoot the ball 30 times a game. And with Westbrook, it was a struggle divvying up the shots. But on the Warriors, he proved that the lesser shots he had didn't mean a lesser production. He was able to produce just as much for the Warriors, having a point or 2 difference in scoring average, and still being the amazing player on defense and under the boards. So KD fit perfectly. He deserves to be 96 overall. He deserves to be the number 1 player in this game ahead of LeBron due to what he did this past season with the Warriors.
Reflecting on him with Kevin Durant, honestly, KD is hands down what is going to be one of the top 5 players in NBA history. He has the potential of being an MVP candidate this year and going again to the finals. So last year, getting that chip that he's always wanted was big for him, and I do think that 96 overall Kevin Durant should be the number 1 as well.
And at 29 years old, this is his prime. This is the year LeBron was 3 years ago. This is his prime right now, the best he's going to get. So coming in at number 1, as usual, is the king, LeBron James. So LeBron James had another great year with Kyrie and K-Love. And now he's going to have to transition to having a different point guard. Now with Isaiah Thomas, he's not going to be that same type of passer Kyrie was. Isaiah is more of a scoring first point guard rather than a pass first like Kyrie was. So LeBron's going to have to adjust to that. He has a 97 overall right now due to his tremendous play last year with Kyrie and K-Love. But I do believe his overall might drop a few points from what it is going into the end of the season and next season, because Isaiah Thomas is different than Kyrie Irving. And it's going to take some time for them to mesh together and form that chemistry that he and Kyrie created.
So, talking about LeBron James, him being a 97 overall, yes, he is a king. He does have his past, and he is the greatest player, I believe so, to ever live. So, I mean, LeBron James, the 97 overall beast, I do believe that he is the number 1, but also because of what he was saying, with Isaiah Thomas coming in and kind of changing things up a little bit. Also, kind of the fact that he's going to take a couple more shots, because Kyrie Irving was more of the finesse driving and the layups, and then once he was over with that, he would start passing to LeBron, Kevin Love. So I do think that LeBron James is going to be passed by Kevin Durant.
And also, a lot of the shots LeBron had were created from Kyrie's amazing dribbling skills and passing skills. A lot of times he would take the pressure off LeBron by driving, and then the last second throwing a crazy pass to LeBron, and him driving to the lane or dunking it or getting fouled for an and 1. So he was probably not going to have those same opportunities with Thomas. We can't create the same type of passing and playmaking that Kyrie does. So that concludes the top 10 NBA 2K players in 2K18. That's an amazing list right there. Thank you for watching another video of ZB Kicks and Sports. We have so much knowledge of the NBA. We're huge Nets fans, season ticket holders, going to as many games as we can, and also watching as many games as we can from home, and also being huge fans of 2K and playing it as well as much as we can. So we hope you enjoyed our analysis. As always, please hit that like button, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. It's huge motivation for us to see that sub count increasing. So thanks for watching,
and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
We're going to celebrate life, success, and our blessings.